Hello, everyone. Welcome to the Friday Talk podcast. Today, we're going to be talking about obviously this upcoming Diamondbacks Padres series, where feels like a pretty important series. Obviously, the Padres are around 7.5 games back of the Giants, and the Giants have been taking care of business against the Diamondbacks. The Giants are 14-2 against them, and quite frankly, we're just not quite playing up to that level against them. We need to be able to come away with at least three in this upcoming series, and I think that's very important. The Dodgers have also taken care of these teams. And over these next 7 games, we're going to be playing the Diamondbacks and the Colorado Rockies, who two teams we haven't really had crazy success against, which we should be having great success against. So being able to take at least three in these next four, and at least two from Colorado, I think feels huge. Going into that Colorado series, we're going to have Ryan Weatherspoon in the first game. And we all know Ryan Weathers hasn't exactly been pitching up to par. But in this series, three guys that had relatively great outings last time. Darvish had an amazing outing, and hopefully he has another one today against Widener, who, if I remember Widener's first start, he pitched really good, but this past one wasn't as good. So hopefully that, the bats continue to stay hot. Obviously, they died down a little bit against the Marlins in that last game, but Alcantara had a great outing, and props to him. But hopefully this lineup comes back to life. As far as the rest of the guys, Blake Snell back out on the road. Hopefully he has another great outing. I've been saying that I think Blake Snell will have some sort of bounce back outing, and I think last outing showed. I think he'll have a bounce back second half of the season, and I hope this trend continues of just dominance of him. Sort of, you saw him go 7 innings or something like that his last outing, and that was very encouraging. Joe Musgrove, the best ERA out of our starting rotation. He's been stellar all year. Maybe he's had some ups and downs, some bumps in the road, but that's expected out of any pitcher unless your name is Jacob deGrom. So that's just what it is. He's going to be a little inconsistent at times, but when he's at the top of his game, he's really good. And then that fourth starter, let me know in the comments who you guys think is going to start that day, because right now it seems like Paddock is needed sorely, and that's kind of hurting this team because we're not able to count on the fourth starter, which is very unfortunate. We had to throw Craig Stammen. He gave up some runs, which that's kind of expected on a bullpen day. They're going to give up some runs. The lineup's going to have to do some heavy lifting, so that's okay. I don't mind that. I don't know who I expect to start that day. Nabil Chrismat got brought up today. Reese Neer got sent down, so we don't know how that's going to work out. We don't know if it'll be Reese Neer or it could be Miggy Diaz. Probably another bullpen day. I guess the question I have for you guys is, do you think the Padres, I saw something like they have seven or 8 rest days in the next 8 weeks. Do you guys think they can ride a 4-man rotation and then maybe have a bullpen day after a break day or something like that? Because it's kind of getting tricky with Ryan Weathers right now. Ryan Weathers is, it was very encouraging at the beginning of the season, but remember we were saying that, maybe he might hit a bump in the road because he's so young and he's still got some work to do down in the minors to fix up some mechanics and all that. So that fifth spot's absolutely up for grabs, whether it be Ryan Weathers to keep and to keep battling for, or his to lose and to go to either Adrian Martinez or Mackenzie Gore, because I don't think you can consistently throw bullpen days throughout the season if you want to keep them healthy in the playoffs. So that something's got to be done about that spot. But luckily for this series, at least, we're going to have our 3-headed horse. Snell has been inconsistent this year, but so far after the All-Star break and really throughout his whole career after the All-Star break, he has relatively good numbers. So hopefully that trend continues. We'll go ahead and fix that, Scar. But all the runs were kind of weakly hit with Stammen, though. Yeah, I agree. It's just for a bullpen day. Like, I expect runs to be put up, so I don't mind if it's like 3, 4, 5 runs. How do I feel that Paddock is going to have a better ERA than Weathers this year? Well, I remember that at the deadline, we were saying that you could move Weathers and we wouldn't mind it. And everybody was saying, don't move Weathers, move Paddock. Paddock's had some really good outings. I understand people get mad at Paddock when he gives up 2 or 3 runs. But like, people are really, really harsh on him because of what he said. Like, he's been a cocky kind of guy, and I get that. I get why people can be harsh on him. But, when you're advocating to not move a guy like Ryan Weathers, where if you look at the advanced statistics, and the advanced statistics aren't everything, but For young guys like him, it's showing that he's at the bottom. He's like at the bottom of the crop when it comes to advanced statistics. You look at his, exit velo and all that stuff. It ranks poorly on all his baseball savant numbers. It's really, really bad. And I'm not saying that he's a bad baseball player. He's going to be a solid guy in our rotation here soon. But it's just the fact that he's not going out there and providing quality outings anymore. He's not doing what he did against the Dodgers anymore. And that, it sucks that it's coming at such an important time for the Padres, because our outlook on Ryan Weathers is going to be it's going to be bad because it's coming at such a bad time. But Paddock, obviously very inconsistent. When he has good outings, they're very good outings, and they're not like shutout outings, but he keeps his team in the game, and that's what a 4 or 5 starter is supposed to do: keep your team in the game. And when Paddock's going out there and he only gives up 3 runs, like against the A's and I believe the Brewers earlier in the year, I'm not so sure. The Phillies earlier in the year, he had a really good outing, and so I like that Paddock's going to finish ahead of Weathers, especially because I'm a Paddock truther. I hate to say it, but we need Paddock. We absolutely do need Paddock, and we do need to put up with his growing pains, because right now we don't have a consistent 4th starter. And yeah, we could have acquired starters at the deadline, but I've said it before and I'll say it again. AJ Peller's already acquired so many guys, whether it be at the deadline or over the offseason. He's already acquired so many guys. You can only get so much and hope for so much. Injuries have killed us. So Paddock needs to be in the rotation right now. We need him to get healthy. Bring up Gore. Gore has been pretty solid. He's not been pretty solid. He's been pretty bad, but yeah, I think he just pitched recently. I'm not so sure on that. If somebody can give me an update on that, I'd like that. But his mechanics were looking good not so long ago. His fastball was looking good. So obviously he's our top pitching prospect. That'd be a very huge boost to this team if he were to get called up and succeed. However, I see a comment on Adrian Martinez. We do think that Adrian Martinez is the more likely call up, which that's awesome. We love to see guys succeeding down in the minors, that we can bring them up soon, especially right now in the time of need for the Padres in terms of starting pitching, back-end starting pitching. So we don't need like an ace, anyone to go up there, provide 6 shutout innings. We just need a guy who's going to keep this team in the game and not blow a 5-run lead like Ryan Weathers did recently. And guys, we like Ryan Weathers. We really do. It's just we don't think he's ready to go out there and provide consistent outings yet, consistent good outings, because he's so young. He's one of the youngest players in baseball. I think he is the youngest player in baseball, if not second. So he still needs some more work, and hopefully he comes around, but we do think he's going to be a solid number 2 or 3 in the future. Tomorrow our segment is on Adrian Martinez, correct? Gore can't be worse than Weathers. I don't think so either. Matt was actually telling us earlier that he placed a bet with one of his friends. I forgot what the name of the Dodgers pitcher in the minors is, but I saw good things about him, but that Mackenzie Gore would be better than him. And I think Mackenzie Gore's upside is unlimited. It's to the sky. He can be an absolutely amazing asset, whether it be this year. He's still young. Remember that. Around 24, 25 is when quite a bit of major league pitchers make their debut. But Gore's been in the minors for a really long time now at this point. So I think it's time that, you get him out there, see what he's got. If he doesn't have it, then hey, at least you tried. You can't do much worse than somebody blowing a 5-run lead or a bullpen day. You can't really do much worse than that. So if you can bring up one of the top pitching prospects in baseball, at one point the top pitching prospect in baseball, you got to do it. But Adrian Martinez has been pitching really well too, so I think that's more likely. I'm at the game today, and I saw Tatis taking balls in right field. Tatis came out and said that he expects a start at short when he comes back. So realistically, I see him kind of doing both. I don't know how that's going to work out, but I'm excited to see how he does. I think he can be a great outfielder. I think he's the kind of athlete that can do it. Adam Jones was once a shortstop, moved to the outfield. Same with Mookie Betts. There's guys that have moved to the outfield and been great out there. So I definitely think Tatis can do it. Luckily, we already locked him up to a fat contract, so there's no reason to worry about him, getting mad about getting switched positions, especially because I think it would only be for the year. But if it's not only for the year and he's willing to stay out there, which I'm not in favor of, I want him to be a shortstop. However, it would open up a spot for C.J. Abrams in the infield. Let's go Dodgers. Okay. Martinez will get his chance to shine soon, and he should get his chance to shine soon. when you're pitching that well in the minors and you're doing great out there and you're showing that you got the stuff. I mean, I don't think he's going to be something crazy. I think he'll have a solid 4 or 5 innings and he can be a solid pitcher for the meantime. So again, you got nothing to lose, especially when you don't have a set fourth pitcher yet, and your number 5's been getting rocked lately. You have nothing to lose. I'm just kidding, Carlos. Need an everyday lineup of Tatis, Cron, Frazier, and Nola. Got to find a way to make it happen. Yeah, I think the only way you get that to happen is you have one of them in the outfield. Pham goes yard today. Pham in the leadoff spot, like, guys, I know his average doesn't show, but his on-base percentage when he's in that leadoff spot, really good. It's hard to advocate for taking him out of there, especially because of how consistent he gets on. He sets up a lot of RBI opportunities for the guy that has arguably been the MVP over the past 2 months, Manny Machado. We're going to have a segment on Manny here soon, but I mean, over the past 2 months, there's been some guys playing some good baseball. You could put Bryce Harper in there. You could put Joey Votto in there, Buster Posey in there. However, I mean, who's been playing better than Manny Machado? Like, the guy's always had a gold glove all year, arguably been the best defensive third baseman all year. And he's batting around 350, something like that, something crazy over the past 2 months. So hard to argue against him. If there were another 60-game season and it started in June, it'd be hard to argue against Manny for MVP. It is hard when it's hard to fit all those guys when Hosmer's hitting the ball. Thanks, Carlos. Hosmer is just, that dude is raking the ball right now. We're not the biggest Hosmer fans, but we love when guys go out there, prove us wrong, and hit some bombs, because that's obviously very beneficial for this Padres team. And Hosmer has been one of the reasons that this Padres team has been putting up so many runs lately. Like, that's hard to deny. Bringing in a lot of RBIs and just, finally, if you guys look at his launch angle, it has significantly improved over the past month. And I don't think, like, what a coincidence, right? Finally, you stop hitting into so many double plays and ground balls to the second baseman that, you're starting to see some results out of him. Picking a homer, I think I already talked about that one. One you can't put on there is Gallo. Yes. I mean, Matt liked Gallo. And I mean, I'm not saying I didn't like Gallo. I was okay with getting Gallo because of how often he gets on base. You can't deny how often he was getting on base at the time. I think it was around 40% of the time. Change of scenery for him. Unfortunate for Joey Gallo. Do I think he'll step it up? Yeah, but it is what it is. Are you going to watch the Padres? Yeah, I'm gonna go watch the Padres. Frazier homer tonight. He only has 4 homers on the year. He needs to put on the swag chain finally, because it's been a while. He hasn't put it on a single time, so he needs to put it on. And I guess the good thing is that he's finally starting to get a lot of hits. You finally starting to see how often he gets on the way he was. He had a 392 on base percentage when he came to us. A 327 batting average. So at first it was a little worrisome. We were thinking, damn, did we make a mistake getting Frazier? But now, he's starting to get on base a lot more. He's starting to get a lot more hits, and that's really good to see. But yeah, he doesn't really hit homers, but it'd be really good to finally see him hit one. I think I don't know, like, where he's going to hit one, but where's everybody from on here? I don't know if Matt, Chase, and I have talked about where we're from. I'm sure we have, but we're from the Coachella Valley. Matt is talking about right here how much he liked Gallo. I wouldn't even say, like, you were wrong. It's not really... Because at the time, it looked like a really good acquisition. We saw at one point he hit like 10 home runs in 10 games, something like that, how often he was getting on. Like, especially with Will Myers struggling this heavily, he'd be a really good fit for this team right now. It's just like Frazier is looking like a pretty good acquisition right now, and he's not hitting for power, but he's setting himself up for RBI opportunities for the other guys. Swag chain is a curse. I don't know. Fernando's put that thing on a lot, and now he's injured. Maybe you're right. Who's on the bump for the D-backs? Widener tonight. I'm pretty sure we're going to see. Let me check the rest of them. I only know the guys that were on the bump for us, but let me see. Today's Widener. Tomorrow is Bumgarner, who pitched 7 innings. He pitched 7 innings, allowed 2 runs, so he got a good outing against us last time. And then Gilbert, who's 0-1 with a 0 ERA, so maybe that's a bullpen day because I don't know who that is. And then Gallen, so yeah. Solid defense. He's hitting 147 for the Yanks. Mentioning the Yankees, tonight, or it's probably on right now. I'm almost positive it's on right now. I was checking the scores earlier, and I saw a lot of good things about it. At first, I thought the whole idea of the Field of Dreams thing was kind of dumb. I kind of thought it was a money grab, but now, everybody commenting on it, saying how cool it is, it seems really cool. And I think if you're going to start making, more movie-themed games, the next one, my personal favorite baseball movie, I'm sure it's a lot of personal people's favorite baseball movie, The Sandlot. You got to make one. And I mean, I'm especially in favor of it because you got to put the Dodgers. You got to put the Dodgers in there, and who better to play them than the Padres? I think that'd be a great matchup. You put on ESPN or Fox at in a Sandlot setting. And the reason I say it's got to be the Dodgers because Benny the Jet Rodriguez ended up being a Dodger. So I think you have to have that. That would be an epic matchup and kind of everyone's favorite baseball movie, I think. Let me know you guys' favorite baseball movies, you guys' top 5 favorite baseball movies. How are you confident in Snell versus Bum for the Padres? Yeah, I mean, Snell's iffy, so we never know what we're going to get from Snell. Hopefully we get what we got last time. That was amazing, and I think he's going to keep that up. I've brought it up. I think he's going to have a bounce back second half. So far, he's definitely having a better second half than first. Hopefully we see him keep that up against kind of a weak lineup that the Giants have been very successful against. So we need the Padres to start being more successful against them, and that's going to start with Darvish, Snell, and Musgrove. San Diego fan in El Paso. Yeah, where Matt, Chase, and I are from, there's a lot of Dodger fans too. When is Tatis back? Tatis was expected to be back this series, but I don't think – I mean, it's realistic. He's more realistic. He's back against the Rockies. Snell's fastball looked dominant last outing. I expect him – last outing he only threw 2 pitches. He only threw fastball slider. I expect him to implement that curveball too. I don't think he should get rid of it. I think, Chase has brought it up before. If there's one pitch he needs to stop throwing – unless he's able to improve it down the road, it's the changeup, which throughout his career, he's actually had a great changeup. I don't know what happened to it, but it's in timeout right now, as he said. But his fastball does look great. 7 games left against the Diamondbacks. Yeah. I've mentioned it already before multiple times. Giants 14-2 against them. We need to start picking it up against them as well because that's what's killing this team. That's what's putting this team so far back is that we're not able to close out those games against the crappy teams, quite frankly. Rothschild. I don't think many of us like that guy. I wear my swag chain to Chihuahua games. That's pretty cool. The Reds won. Yeah, luckily the Ozzy Albies walked off yesterday, so Reds won today. Hopefully the Padres can win today too. I think I was talking about my top 5 favorite movies earlier. Let me know you guys' top 5 favorite baseball movies, but mine's probably got to be The Sandlot, A League of Their Own. Yeah, I saw the Dodgers lost. A League of Their Own, Angels in the Outfield, Bad News Bears. I feel like I'm forgetting one. How much are the swag chains? Ooh, I think they're around 30 at the stadium, 30 or 40. I think, if I remember correctly. I've been trying to find somewhere online where they sell them too, and I can never find anywhere. Yeah, 35. Yeah. Major League. Yeah, Major League's cool. Rookie. That's the one I was forgetting. Rookie of the Year. The Natural's good. Giants are facing Marquez too. Could be a big game for us. Marquez, always a tough matchup. The Giants, they kind of feel like the Utah Jazz of the MLB, where nobody expected the Jazz to be the number 1 seed. Nobody expected the Giants to be the number 1 seed. Best team in the game right now. So hopefully Marquez could shut them down. Because it's not like the Padres are completely out of winning the division. Are the odds low? Yeah, they're very low. I don't expect them to. However, it's not out of the picture to see the Padres go on a 8, 9, 10 game win streak, and the Giants drop, go like 5-5 over a 10 game span, that the Padres go 10-0 or whatever it is. It's not. I mean, it's unlikely to happen, but it's not something to rule out, especially because anything can happen in baseball. I'm planning to buy one at the Padres-Dodgers game. That's a good one. Me and my friends actually want to go to that game, but man, it's hard to get some seats. Everything's pretty much sold out for that game. I want a wild card game too. I want it to be. I'm hoping it's in San Diego, but that's not looking likely either. I see a question about Will Myers. So I'm guessing that you're asking if he will step up and be the Will Myers that he was last year? Answer to that, no. I don't think he's gonna get his head out of his ass. I think he'll improve a little bit. It's just, recently Matt brought up a stat. He was striking out 1 out of every 3 times, something like that. Unfortunately, he is the kind of the weak link in the lineup right now. You look from top to bottom. Nola, I mean, when Caratini starts, he's probably the weak link in the lineup. But if you look at the rest, Nola hitting fantastic. Hosmer also. Cronenworth has been one of the best players in baseball. Tatis, MVP season. Machado as well. And I know he's kind of a dark horse for it, but he's performing at an MVP level right now. Tommy Pham had a really good stretch from June to some point in July, and he's still getting on base at a high clip. Trent Grisham had a really cool stretch. Now he's starting to turn it on. Now there's only one guy that's not turning it on. And it's obvious who it is. It's Will Myers, and I like Will Myers. I really do like Will Myers. It's just a matter of he's not producing very, very quality at bats, which it's kind of good that I'm slandering him right now, because I'm sure slandering him will, kind of jinx it a little bit, and he'll go on some crazy run, hopefully. But it's just he's not providing value for this, especially with his contract. He's not providing enough value for this team. He's still a good baseball player. I still have faith in him. It's just a matter of he needs to start stepping it up in order to keep his playing time, because, quite frankly, he is a good baseball player. When he's on fire, that dude can rake. He can go on some crazy tear where he goes, he's batting, I don't know, 350 in his last 10 games or something like that. He can be that good. It's just, I don't know what's going on with the guy, honestly. Grisham's heating up for sure. Myers needs to stop doing too much. I don't even know like I said, I don't know what it is with him. It's just kind of hard to advocate for him being in the lineup, especially I feel like this thing about Tatis going to the outfield. If he goes to the outfield, you can almost count on Will Myers being out of the lineup. Just bring it, Reds. We own you and the Dodgers. Yeah, that's what's kind of making me mad, is that we've owned the Reds and the Dodgers, and we're still competing with them for this wild card spot because we can't handle those easy teams. I like the idea of the expanded playoffs. I don't hate either of them. I don't hate the 5-team playoff. I don't hate the 7-8-team playoff, whatever it is, but I think the 7-team makes it more fun. I hate the idea of a 1-game elimination in the wild card. I like that 3-game thing. I thought it was a lot more fun. Added a lot more excitement for me, especially us as Padre fans. If it was a 1-game elimination, we were done. And that second game wasn't looking very good either until Tatis and Machado went back to back. So I love the idea of the expanded playoffs, and I actually wanted it this year. Or no, maybe I wanted the universal DH, but they need both. Milwaukee looks very tough. Milwaukee's got the perfect formula for a World Series team. Be careful what you wish for. I don't know what that means. We'll be in for sure, and we'll have Clev back. I think we have Clev back at the end of the year, or not the end of the year, next year. You want to keep it safe with the guy because he's a great pitcher, and you want to play it safe, have him back for next year. Is Fernando coming back? I heard that you said he's playing outfield. Fernando should be coming back, whether it's this series or next series, we don't know. I brought up that if he does play outfield, I don't see him being a full-time outfielder. I see him being a kind of he'll either play right or short. I still think he's going to play short. He has said that when he comes back, he expects to play short. So I think he's going to kind of, mix it up, play both. But Matt's right. Cronenworth will play short if Tatis is playing the outfield. They kind of have a hard time doing this with Eric Hosmer as well. It seems like they're like, oh man, we paid him, he needs to play, but he's absolutely the weak link in the lineup right now. So, and it's hard to say because as Padre fans, we know who the longest tenured Padre is. It is Will Myers, and we want him to succeed with us. We want him to win a World Series with us. But if you want to win a World Series with us, you need to produce. Quite frankly, you need to produce. And if you're not, if you're going to be in this lineup where this lineup is stacked, you can't be the weak link. But when he's on, he might be the second, third strongest guy in the lineup when he's on. But that hasn't really been the case at all this season. Our starters keep doing what they did this week. That is our 300 monster. Yeah, I agree. That is our 300 monster. They keep doing what they're doing. Any news on the Met coming back soon? So some news on the Met. He had something cleaned out of his hip. It was some sort of hip infection. So whether that's actually the case or not, we don't know. But he had some sort of hip infection. He got it cleaned out. He did have somewhat of a setback, but luckily it wasn't related to his elbow. It was related to something else. So I think a 7 to 10 day setback is very realistic. Now with Turner and Scherzer, he don't own the Dodgers. We don't own the Dodgers. I still think we can beat the Dodgers even with Turner and Scherzer. Move Myers to first base. Defensively, yeah, that's an upgrade. But with the way Hosmer is hitting right now, it's hard to advocate for taking him out of the lineup. Turner is great, but the Padres will hit Scherzer well. And the Padres can continue to hit Scherzer well. I think in those big-time moments, like if there's a team set up for it, it would have to be the Padres. They want to be in the limelight. They want to be in the spotlight. They want to, rock these kind of guys. I'm way more scared of Buehler than I am Scherzer. Buehler, I don't think DeGrom's coming back this year. I don't think it's very likely. And even if he comes back, shouldn't be the Cy Young winner. I actually think Buehler could possibly be that Cy Young winner. Dodgers are totally beatable. I totally agree. We've already beat them 7 times, and basically all it was is Scherzer replacing Bauer. But Turner is obviously someone to be scared about because he's a great baseball player. We need to just add Camarena to the lineup. Padres are the little brother to the Dodgers. I thought this wasn't a rivalry, though. We're 7-3 against the Dodgers. Not to mention we've already rocked Scherzer twice. Let me see some other questions. I feel like I skipped some. Saw that one. Oh, I saw this one right here. I didn't even know they were starting Mitch White. I saw them get beat today, so that's pretty big. I like that. I think we can still catch the Dodgers in that wild card race and be the home team for that game. Yes, sir. Financially, yeah, especially when you have to buy World Series. That's crazy. And Joey Votto, Tatis needs to stay healthy. So if Tatis stays healthy, MVP for sure, rest of the way. But if not, you're going to see guys like Bryce Harper, Joey Votto, Buster Posey, Manny Machado going after that award. I absolutely agree. I've always, I've always not liked the Dodgers. Those 3 I do not want to see against Paddock. I'm a baseball fan. Let me know what you guys think of Paddock. I think it's showing right now that Paddock is pretty important for this team. I know there's a lot of Paddock slander, but right now it's definitely showing that he's like a key part of the rotation because we're either throwing bullpen days or Ryan Weathers out there, and that's not been a pretty sight. We need to We need some guys that are gonna just provide us consistent innings. Betts, yeah, that's true. Betts is on the IL recently. Kershaw went to the 60-day IL. So they're getting hit with some injuries right now. Good luck with the channel. Thank you. Appreciate it. Appreciate it a lot. I agree. We have no choice. We need Paddock as a starter. I don't think it's a bad choice, though. I don't think it's like oh man, we need Paddock as a starter. I don't think it's that. It's like, he needs to be in there, and we just gotta pray that he has good outings. I mean, I don't expect him to do it consistently, but 3 of 5 good outings would be solid for me. Dodgers have always been our rivals, and it's, I mean, I understand why they didn't think it was a rivalry. Dodgers have no rivals. Completely disagree. They're showing we're our rivals, or we're their rivals. If you saw that Tatis game where he was mocking Trevor Bauer, you would hear all the boos that were going on. They were booing him, and it wasn't even a packed stadium. If it was a packed stadium, it would have been even worse. One of the Dodger writers ended up writing an article about how Tatis should have been beamed for doing that. Obviously, all the Dodgers, I mean, you saw Justin Turner's reaction to Tatis stutter stepping around third. This is a rivalry. Like, whether you think so or not, you look at what the Dodgers fans say, you look at what Dave Roberts says, this is a rivalry for sure. Paddock is locked in as a 4 starter for sure. Matt, yeah, I absolutely think he should be. I don't see a reason why not, especially because there's nobody that has really solidified themselves or put themselves above him. So I would absolutely expect him to be locked in as that 4th starter. It's always that one inning for Chris Paddock. I totally agree. It's always that one inning where he gets destroyed, and it absolutely ruins everything. I was there for that June 21st game. All of the games have absolutely been playoff atmosphere types. Always hated the Dodgers. They need to start Kinnear. I think I could speak for probably both Matt and Chase. Matt, let me know what you think. But I think at this point, because I mean, it's not like we don't like the. It is a positive for both Dodgers and Padres fans that this is a rivalry. But I don't like the idea of Kinnear going out there as a starter only because he's only going 3 innings, maybe 4. But in order for this rotation, for this bullpen to stay healthy, we're going to need a guy like Adrian Martinez and Mackenzie Gore to get to step up in place of Ryan Weathers, or for Ryan Weathers to step up in general, because this team is in desperate need of some back-end starters right now. Yeah, there's so much potential in Chris Paddock. There's a lot of potential there, and I think that kind of goes overlooked. He's still a young pitcher. He's still got some work to do with his 3rd pitch, and I think he's gonna be fine down the road. I would have liked to see Bauer versus Tatis and Machado in the playoffs. I mean, both of them are his daddy, so Machado is not the dirtiest player in baseball. Stop. No. Everyone likes him. We love him. Machado has shown no sign of being the dirtiest player with us. He's shown no sign of he's not the dirtiest. We love him. We all as fans love him, obviously, because he's on our team. But you look at what he does on Twitter, like how he's gone out of his way to sign. He's lazy. Oh, you're trolling. Like Machado, he like, people call him Johnny Hustle. Machado's not a Dodger anymore. Yeah, that's true. Yet they won a World Series, but Machado, ever since he's left the Dodgers, higher wins above replacement than Mookie Betts. And obviously, we're all going to stand for Machado. That's our guy. He's amazing. He's batting over 300 these past 2 months. He always takes the extra bag. Gold Glove, 3rd baseman. Say what you want about him. Finished 3rd in MVP voting last year. He's going to be up there in MVP voting again this year, as he should be. And he's worth every penny right now. Our left side of the infield is worth every penny right now. Weather's all about bad location in his last start. Stuff's still there. That's what I was saying. I was saying that Weathers is kind of it's a weird term, but he's wild in the zone where when he misses it like he misses right down the middle, and that's not a good thing for a pitcher because you don't want to be missing down the middle to major league hitters. They're going to do what the Marlins did against them and what, quite frankly, the Diamondbacks and the Rockies have done against them too. You sure seem like a Dodgers fan. It's just so funny how people don't like Machado. Like he's shown no signs of being a dirty player. He's shown no signs of being a crybaby with us. He's been amazing for us. We love him. We all love him. Like there's no doubt. He's definitely my second favorite player. I think my first, obviously, Tatis. I love Jake the Rake. I love all these guys. But Machado has been our best player these past 2 months, been the best glove all year, possibly been the best glove at third base all year. Always hustling to take the extra bag. And if you need some evidence on how he hustles, watch him against anyone, but particularly against the Dodgers. The heart he has, the heart he shows, the passion he shows, how bad he wants to beat them, it all shows. And that's the kind of guy that we love. We haven't really had that guy. And the fact that he's on our team, we're very appreciative of it. You're a baseball fan. I don't know, dude. It doesn't seem like it. Dodgers will go back to being choked out. Dodgers are bandwagon teams. Machado has stayed healthy and productive in defensive start. My dad thinks Machado has been our most valuable player. Our best player is Tatis. When you talk about who's provided the most value to this team, Machado's played every single game pretty much, provided amazing defense all year. But Tatis is playing at the MVP level. So, I mean, I'm not going to argue against either. On the Orioles, man, he did some questionable things. Yeah, on the Orioles and the Dodgers. He was just so young. Like, he was still trying to, grow up. He's still trying to mature. And with us, he's been he's been very mature. He's grown up. He's one of the best players in baseball, and we love having him on our team, as I mentioned. Tatis has missed a ton and not great defensively. I think that's why you can argue that he hasn't been our most valuable player. You can argue that in favor of Jake and Machado, but in terms of the whole league, like I think he's gonna if he keeps playing and he doesn't get hurt again, he's gonna be the most valuable player in the league. Darvish having another 10+ strikeout night. You would love to see it for sure. And I think it's very possible with his stuff doesn't look as good as when the sticky stuff went away. But yeah. Us at Fire Talk will, yes, sir, we will, because that's our guy. You can argue that Hosmer was the kind of the kickstart of the rebuild, but that's absolutely not true. It's definitely Manny. Manny has vaulted this team into a contender, and Tatis obviously, but Manny came here with the idea that this team's going to be great, and so far it's looking very good. Darvish going to deal today after his new mural. That mural is so cool. And for I don't know if you guys have watched the live stream though, when I brought it up not that long ago, those shorts that I was talking about that they're all wearing on when Marty Caswell shoots the videos, they're in stock somewhere. So I'm still trying to look for them. And I don't even know why I like them so much, but I want them. I think the game's about 6:40 start time. Yeah, the game's about to be on. Let me know, let us know in the comments what you guys think this series is going to end up being. I think the Padres are at least going to take 3. I think, I don't know. Let me see who I'm going to go with the top performer. I'm going to go Jake Cronenworth as a top performer. Obviously, that's a guy that you can't really miss. If I miss, then I did horrible. But Darvish is not a big game pitcher. Ask the Dodgers. He's already beat the Dodgers this year. I'm pretty sure it's been twice that he's beat them. Been great for us pretty much all year. Had some bad outings, but he's been a solid pitcher. Those shorts are fire. That's what I'm saying, Jerry. Later, Matt. But I'm going to go ahead and head out right now, too. I'm going to go watch the game. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I had a great time answering all your questions, having these discussions. For JD, it's always great having this little, obviously there's a little rivalry. It's always great arguing about things. So there's obviously no hard feelings. But hopefully this team goes out there. They win 3 like I expect. And this whole team finally starts to find their groove because thank you, Matt. Thank you. Hopefully this team starts to find their groove because, quite frankly, we're kind of a little ways back from the Giants. And I think, we got to be able to find our way back into that mix, because I think if they're able to find their way back into that mix, we're going to start seeing some more inspirational baseball out of the Padres. So thank you guys for listening. Subscribe to us if you haven't yet. We do these live streams before every series. We love doing them. So let any other Padres fans know about us. We're trying to reach 1,000 before the end of the season, and have a great rest of your night.